Good morning, it's Harvey Jackson. Just going to get into some of the news overnight. Market seems numb and maybe dumb to the Iran war here. Iran war live. U.S. launches airstrikes as talks stall. U.S. military fires on Iranian targets as talks stall. Somehow the ceasefire is still in place, I guess. I don't know. It seems counterintuitive or maybe just numb. Israel says it will escalate strikes in Lebanon against Hezbollah. Yeah, so Israel is it's a Israeli-led war more than it is against America, I think, or Americans. But Rubio says Iran deal could take days as U.S. launches fresh strikes. So it hit some boats, and Iran reserves the right to escalate. Potential deal to halt war could lead to further strikes. Yeah. Both sides play down prospect of imminent agreement. Iran war hit U.S. drone, shot down as tensions surge across with the peace talks. Canadian dollar strengthens as investors weigh peace, and you could see, I'm going to show you, big deal. It made the news. Like, how in the heck is that even possible? Trades in range of 137 to 138. Price of U.S. Decreases 6.5%. Bond yields ease across the curve. So you can see here from X, the Canadian dollar kind of just sliding this way, and then CAD against euro is falling even more, CAD against China, and then the CAD against German. Seasonal temperature outlook, and this is all leaning on El Nino, how it's going to affect. So you got equal chances of temperature outlook, and it's going to be above to the west for sure. Central U.S. dry for June start, so hopefully we can get some planting progress here, and I think it will advance pretty quick as lots of drills are out there moving. Farmers are busy and dry up enough in the north of the prairies here that we can actually maybe get some progression. It's later in the week that we have this rain showing up, but it looks like Alberta is going to get substantial rainfall when it comes to 2 weeks out. Canola's up, and I think it might be anticipation that there's some slow planting here because none of the other oil complexes are going up either. So it's counterintuitive. It must be, the market is maybe pricing in some issues there. So it seems. So November canola at 752 as I took that screenshot. Rapeseed was slightly up at 375 at 519 a ton in euro dollars. Soybean oil is down at 73.71. Palm oil just unchanged, basically at 44,029 ringgit. Crude oil down $4.39, and it was down to 88, I think it was, at 90, but currently trading at 92.29. Brent at 95.63. Diesel fuel down at 379 or 380. Soybeans 11.87.5, down 9 cents. Spring wheat down 4 cents at $6.85. Red winter down 7. Chicago down 9. Milling wheat unchanged. Oats up 3 1/4, and corn is down 5 3/4. Canadian dollar just slightly up. Here, just having a look at it, we're caught in this range for sure, sideways range since March. So if the longer it takes for it to peak out here, I guess it's going to have to take a weather problem, and wet does not, as I stated yesterday, wet does not seem to be a call out more than a drought. Drought problems are the bigger problems. Quality wet in the fall, but wet in the spring does not seem to make a market rally near as much as a drought in the growing season. Just that's my observation. I'm not saying I know what's going on out there in fields because wet is a problem, at least to get planted for sure. So we had a red and now half recovery from the drop that we had yesterday. European rapeseed dropped yesterday and a partial recovery there. Soybean oil still caught in this downward slope and up against the trend line here. Soybeans basically got moved back down into this sideways channel. Soybean meal, actually, this is probably the best look for higher highs and higher lows in a chart if you want to see the basically a bull market channel going up here. Crude palm oil looks like it still has pressure going down. Crude oil, we might fill that gap potential if the war escalates anymore. Same thing with the Brent crude. Here's your diesel fuel. Looks like it could be breaking below that upward sloping triangle. Gasoline down again. Canadian dollar, oh, green. Yeah, that's what they were talking about earlier in the article. Oof, yeah, when it's all red going up to there, I guess they better call out a pause anyway at the very least. U.S. dollar leveled off and does not want to trade through that 61.8 retracement value. Wheat, looks like we're going to break out of this wedge to the downward move. You can see that that's pretty. Same thing. It looks like we might be breaking lower here on Minneapolis on the December contract. Kansas, same move in both the front and the back months. Chicago. So this is evident that the European rapeseed does not want to break through this strong resistance up here. Corn futures. Just a farther back look here, you can see that this is what's going on right now and the pullback that we've had, but still looks like it's supported since September going up here. We had a big move down, and now we're basically just trading inside of a range here. Same thing with the feeder cattle. Lean hogs had the same terrible move down and looking for some